Good morning, and welcome to King 5 News. Today, we will be discussing the issue of the Ebola outbreak in Africa. Go.
I am here helping to treat the infected primates with the Ebola virus. This disease can occur both in primates, such as this poor monkey here, and in humans. It's been spreading very rapidly, and we must find a way to end it now.
So, Dr. Jester, tell us exactly what's happening to this poor monkey.
Well, as of now, the Ebola virus has infected much of its body, and the primate's immune system is working full tilt. The monkey is running a fever and has very weak muscles.
The Ebola disease often occurs in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Sudan, and Uganda. The first occurrence of the disease was in 1976. So, Dr. Jester, how is the disease being spread?
Well, humans have been catching the disease through close contact with these animals. Ebola is often sparked in the cities in Africa due to the people's close interaction with so many animals. From eating them to just having them as pets, the disease will eventually harm them. Once a person has it, it is extremely easy for it to spread. By coming in contact with an infected person's blood or secretion, you can easily become infected.
Interesting. We have just pulled in research that the death rate of the disease is 90%. The incubation period for the disease is 2 to 21 days. And an Ebola fun fact for the day, there are 5 subtypes of the disease: Ebola Zaire, Ebola Sudan, Ebola Ivory Coast, Ebola Bundibugyo, and the last subtype found in primates, Ebola reston.
Back to the disease. There are many severe side effects that come with Ebola. These will most often include a severe headache and vomiting, much like the flu, but yet it is deadly. At the rate the spreading is going on, I am sure I'm going to catch the disease soon.
Good morning. We are once again back in Africa researching the Ebola disease outbreak. Dr. Jester, the man working with the diseased monkey, has become seriously ill, experiencing fevers, headaches, and extreme vomiting. He has shown no signs of recovery so far. We are here to talk to Dr. Richard, a specialist in this disease. His main focus is both to help the patients currently fighting the disease and to figure out why the disease seems to be so deadly and to figure out a way to stop it. So, Dr. Richard, what in the immune system is this disease affecting?
Well, the disease's host comes from an animal primates, meaning that it derives from an animal host. No one really knows what the cells disease attacks in the immune system. So all we can assume is that the steps to prevent the pathogen from getting it deep into the body follow a normal path. What makes the disease so deadly, however, is that it replicates at an unusually fast rate, and with a weak immune system, there's often no hope. Many of the people weren't completely healthy to start with.
Okay. So, no one really knows where this disease came from. The source is currently unknown. So, doctor, how are you treating these infected patients?
There's currently no cure or treatment for the disease. All we can do to help the patient is balance their fluids and maintain their oxygen levels, and make sure they are not coming into contact with anyone else, or else the disease will spread.
Thank you, doctor. That's it for today. We would like our viewers to come up with ideas to prevent the disease from spreading. Email in your ideas, and we will read them aloud on the next show. Okay, keep it going. Do not press stop. Okay. Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to King 5 News. For the third time, we are back in Africa, talking to you about Ebola. Many of your ideas have come in, and we will now read them aloud. First off, somebody said to wear gloves to prevent contact with people's blood or secretion, and wear surgical masks to ensure no contact with a diseased animal or human being. Sounds good? Answer number 2 of the night: if an animal is infected, just lock it up. Don't come in contact with it, and don't eat the raw meat of an animal. Each of these ideas are very good, and tonight we will get a quick update on how Dr. Jester is doing, and we will watch an interview between Dr. Richard and our very own questioner, Ted. We will now go back to Dr. Richard and get a last update on how Dr. Jester is doing.
Dr. Jester died last night. There's nothing we could do. We just don't have the tools or hygiene here. I did everything I could. Sickness just took over him.
We are all very sorry to hear that. The rate for the living is only 10%, meaning that when you do get the disease, your chance for survival is very slim. But at least there is a chance. Now we will switch over to an interview with Dr. Richard and our own interviewer, Ted.
Good evening, Dr. Richard. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on the show.
My pleasure. First question for the night is, how does this pathogen affect the host of a cell?
Well, the virus goes through the lytic cycle, meaning after injecting its DNA into a cell, makes hundreds of replicas of itself, then quickly explodes, if you will. The meaning of incubation period is pretty short after you catch it. This is an issue because many people spread it to others before the side effects even hit them. This also means the spreading of this disease is rapid within the body and makes it hard for the immune system to stop it.
Very interesting. Next question for you. Is there any effect on the structure or function of the person after getting Ebola?
Well, there's no extreme effect to this person's physical structure. However, the body's functions do alter based on what symptoms they have and how severe their case is.
What would usually happen to a patient?
They would most likely experience vomiting and very weak muscles. Headaches are often associated, as well as diarrhea and severe stomach pain.
So, we now know that there is no way of curing this disease as of now. But do you think there is any way of maybe preventing these outbreaks?
Well, there are definitely ways. Don't come in contact with anyone who has it, and just avoid contact with people in general. Just the little things will help.
That is great to know. Thank you so much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you took these ideas to heart and that you never experience this terrible disease. From Africa, this is Ted, King 5 News. Good night.
Before we go, we would like to leave you with the highlights from this episode on Ebola.
The Ebola virus is often abbreviated as VHF, meaning viral hemorrhagic fever. I hope I said that right.
Yeah, that was me. There's currently no treatment for the disease, and the disease is found in humans and primates.
Ebola has a casualty rate of 90% and often has outbreaks near tropical rainforests.
That's it for tonight. Thanks for watching, and remember to stay healthy.